Alrighty. So, welcome everybody. Happy Friday. In case you were not aware, we have like a donation-based class this weekend for the KISS Theater with Lisa Gallico. There's a $20 suggested donation. KISS is Kids Innovating Stage and Sound, so it's like kids theater. So if you're able to make it or know someone who would appreciate it, you're welcome to come and enjoy that class. At the end of the month, Callie's teaching another donation class for the SPCA, so that one's coming up too. We have a medicine wheel workshop with Teresa Novak. So if you're interested in like healing with medicine wheels, it's like the 7 wheels. There's 7 months that goes on. So you sign up for 1 month, or you can sign up for the whole thing. But it's 1 Sunday a month, and you're here for 3 hours, like learning about medicine wheel. It's not necessarily a physical practice like this. It's not like you're gonna have to do yoga, like a physical yoga practice for 3 hours. So if you have questions about it, there's some information on all the flyers, or we can get you in touch with Teresa. She can like explain it best to you. Megan Fox is doing a trauma-based training, yoga training. So if you're interested, that's 1 weekend, and you're here like Friday night, and then like kind of all day Saturday, Sunday. So it's a 20-hour deal. But it would be working with special populations. So applying yoga practice to, could be like women's shelters, homeless shelters, prisons, working with like children, anything that is like considered a trauma-based group. So some people work with that demographic in their work life, and then they do this training just to like supplement it. Some people are like, I think I really enjoy something like that. They might take it. And then anybody who has a 200-hour can take it as additional training. We have like several workshops coming up, yin and restorative options. We have a 4-week arm balance series with Melissa and Ty, and sound off coming up with Aaron Vinyasa. So please make sure that you're checking in on like the board outside has like the rest of March, April, and even May. We're getting good at like planning ahead. So we're trying to put that information out to you guys as soon as possible. So if you have questions or concerns about any of that stuff, if you want to learn more, let me know. I'm gonna have everybody come to a comfortable seated position. And could everybody sit on a block, even if you don't need it? Oh, you sit on the block anyway. Oh my goodness. Sit on the block anyway. So sitting on the block, is it possible to get your heel of one foot and the heel of the other foot one in front of the other? So not being in front of, not sitting on the block, but trying to do myself like, we're trying to like line the heels up so the knees go super wide as like an option. If you're like, oh my God, Kristen, that's terrible. You don't have to do it, okay? But try to get that feeling of like a wide base across the bottom with those ankles in mind. And then if it feels like your ankle is like getting like twisted, you can always like roll a blanket underneath those ankles to like give them a little support and them up. And then from that space, finding a nice tall seated position. And I would like you to put your hands on your hips so you can feel your hip bones. This is your pelvis. We're gonna tip the pelvis forward. So see if you can like roll your pelvis forward a little bit further. And then try to like roll your pelvis back. And then roll your pelvis forward. And then roll your pelvis back. And then when you roll your pelvis forward, you get like a little bit more of an arch in your low back. That's an anterior tilt. And then with your hands on your hips and you roll your pelvis back, this is a posterior tilt. This is what I call like sad dog. Try to like tuck the tail under. So one more time, anterior tilt. And then one more time, posterior tilt. And then see if you can find the middle between those two extremes for you today. And that's what we're gonna call like your center right now. And then taking the palms, you can turn them up towards the sky on your knees. Or you can turn your palms down on your knees. Or you may do like one palm up, one palm down. Just trying to figure out like where it feels best. So we'll say like palms up is like our receiving energy, like giving and receiving energy kind of thing. And then the palms down is kind of like a sealing in your energy, not kind of taking anything in or out at this point. And then the half and half is like maybe a little. And as you find that nice tall position, we'll lower the chin so that it's below your ears. And then lift the chin all the way up towards the sky. And then bring the chin back, okay? So kind of like that nodding that we're doing with your pelvis, but now with the chin. And then back, up, and down. And then bringing the chin to an even place, not up as high as it can be, not tucked away down into your chin, into your chest, but like an even space. And as you notice and feel the length in the back of the neck, the palms down, we take a moment here. Allowing your body to land. And attempting to slow down all of your thoughts. We're attempting to be present, even if it's for just like one breath at a time. Oh, I got a breath that I was present and then I drifted off again. And then I had a breath that I was present and then I drifted off again. And that's okay. Considering what it is that you want from your time. Considering who it is that you do it all for. Or maybe someone that you would like to dedicate or offer your practice to, that they might have what they need. That they might be well or rest well. Even if there's nothing you can do, but offer them this time. Relaxing the tension in the face. Relax the tension in the jaw. Anything that you don't need to be here. And then fluttering the eyes open if they were closed. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Take a few gentle circles. And then reversing the circles, take them the opposite way. And release your arms back up to your sides. Good, lowering that chin again down into the chest. Roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. We still sit tall. We try not to like tip the whole spine over. The spine stays tall, just the head goes. And then the chin back down into the chest and the left ear towards the left shoulder. Relax the left shoulder down. So we're not trying to bring the left shoulder up to the ear, we're trying to take the ear down to the shoulder. So as we sit nice and tall, and that shoulder relaxes down. And the head just tips towards the side, the rest of the spine tries to stay really tall. Lower that chin back down into the chest one more time, a few gentle circles in the neck. If circles don't feel so good, you shake your head yes. And then reversing the circles, if you were shaking yes, now you'll shake no. Coming back to center one more time, nice and tall. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Come forward now over your knees, tabletop position. From tabletop position, try to maintain the hips. Let your shoulder blades come together so your chest lowers towards the floor. And then push the shoulder blades like away from each other so that upper part of your back moves to the ceiling. Then shoulder blades again together, they go down. And you squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then move them apart. Shoulder blades move apart. Good, and then again, shoulder blades come together. Lower, 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 lower. Good, and then shoulder blades apart, 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 apart. Good, and then shoulder blades lower, lower, arms stay straight. No bend in the elbows. Shoulder blades come together, chest drops down. Yes, more. Keep those arms straight. Yep, and then shoulder blades apart. If it feels like you could do this all day, you'll step back to a plank position. If this is like, oh, okay, just getting my shoulder blades and movement on my back is a little challenging for me, I'm just staying in a single top. Now, shoulder blades together from plank or tabletop position, right? The shoulder blades have to move. And then shoulder blades apart. 10. Together. Apart. 9. Together. If you're not getting those shoulder blades moving, lower your knees down. Apart. Together. Apart. Together. Apart. Together. Get the movement going or lower the knees down. Apart. 4 more. Together. Together, together, together. Apart, 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 apart. Good. Together, together, together. Apart, apart, apart. One more time. Together, together, together. We're going to try not to move this slow down. Apart, 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 apart. Yeah, so hold that apart. We want to see if we can just get the shoulder blades moving and then the low back stay. Push the ground away a little bit more. I can see some of those edges of your shoulder blades. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees down. Amazing. Walk those hands forward. The butt stays over your knees. Walk those arms out long. Puppy pose. Puppy pose sounds like it should be like very nice and gentle because it's puppy, but it's like pretty deep on the back bend. So you're walking those arms out in front of you. Your butt stays over your knees. I want you to try to get your elbows to turn towards each other, externally rotating your arms. So the elbows come in, and maybe your palms turn up towards the sky. And then with your butt up in the air, you're trying to put your sternum, the bone at the center of your chest, on the floor, which means that those shoulder blades have to go together, together, together. And then reach out for your fingers like you're trying to reach a marble that foot like rolls underneath the couch. And as you like reach, and press that chest down towards the floor, we'll take 3 more breaths. Last breath. Good. Now, whether you come forward out of this or back out of this, we'll gracefully come back out. And then take the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Moving or pedaling around in that downward facing dog, try to make things feel nice. Inhale, come forward, up plank position. Exhale, lower your knees down, just the knees. Butt stays up in the air, chest down, chin down, eat limbs. So your elbows hugging close to your body, and they stay up off the ground. Elbows in tight to your chest. Yeah. And then press through baby cobra or a tall cobra. Exhale back to child's pose. Good. Come to sit up on your heels. Good. So, from my plank position, right down dog to plank, I lower my knees down, my chest down, my elbows come right alongside my body. Think like chaturanga, but I lower all the way down, my butt stays up. Chest down, chin down, elbows in. And then push through those hands, baby cobra or tall cobra. And then exhale back through child pose, the downward facing dog. So those elbows hug it in. I mean, the shoulder blades have to come together in order to push through. So if we're stuck with the shoulder blades out, it'll feel like you get stuck at the top. So let's give this a whirl again. Downward facing dog. We're gonna do 5 of them in a row. So if the first one doesn't go so good, and the second one, we're just gonna keep trying, okay? Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lower knees. Butt stays in the air, chest and chin down. Arms in close to the body. Glide through baby cobra or tall cobra. Exhale back through child's pose. Downward facing dog, way better. Inhale, forward plank position. Exhale, lower, knees down, chest down, chin down. Arms staying tight. Inhale, glide through baby cobra or tall cobra. Exhale back through child's down dog. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lower, knees down, chest down, chin down, arms staying tight. Inhale, glide through baby cobra, tall cobra. Exhale back through child, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, plank position. Exhale, lower, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, glide through baby cobra, tall cobra. Exhale back through child, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lower, knees down, chest down, chin down, butt stays up. Inhale, glide through baby cobra or tall cobra. Exhale back through child's pose, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump, walk, or float top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Take your arms up overhead. Find the back bend at the top. Exhale and forward fold. Hands back down towards you. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, palms down. Step back now to a plank position. Pushing the ground away, nice and strong. Tuck the tailbone under, so you're like a sad dog. Your low belly is lifting up towards the ceiling. Good, push forward off those toes now. Chaturanga and Dandasana. Now the body stays strong and straight like a board. Inhale, lifting upward facing dog or tall cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Super strong. Press your chest back towards your thighs a little more. You get those arms to externally rotate like you did in puppy pose. This time your palms are staying down, but you're trying to roll those arm bones in. And you're trying to press your chest through your thighs while those arms keep externally rotating and pushing the ground away. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump off or float top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Back bend at the top of the movement. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep your arms up to the sky. Utkatasana, sitting back in your chair. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Then take the hands behind the back and release your fingers. Bend your elbows as much as possible. Squeeze those shoulder blades together a lot. Like as if you had like a block between your arms and you're trying to squeeze that block. And then reach the knuckles not down, but back towards the back wall while you keep that engagement. Chest lifts. How's the back of the neck? Okay. Good. Keep that forward fold down inside the right leg. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together. As we squeeze those shoulder blades together, allowing that head to go down a little more, maybe bend deeper in the knee. Then pressing down to the feet, rise back up to standing. Both arms reach up. Exhale, take the hands down. Step back to a plank position. So lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana and hold. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps through between the hands, rising on an inhale. And bring the hands behind your back. Bend your elbows as much as possible and squeeze those shoulders together, elbows together. Then reaching the knuckles for the back wall, not down, but back. Lift the chest up because it's different if you take instead of taking your arms up, you just pull your chest down, right? It makes the arms feel way higher, but we're trying to lift the chest and lift the arms. But now keeping that engagement forward fold down inside the left leg. Then keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. That squeezing the shoulder blades is a big part. I want you to work your back muscles. Keep trying to press those pinky fingers into an imaginary wall. Push. Keep pushing. But now bend a little deeper in your knee. And push a little harder. You turn your butt to the back wall, not the side wall. Yeah, there we go. Much better, much better. And then on an inhale, rising all the way back up to standing, rolling up to your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands down to the floor. Step back, legs position. Pause. Now, just like before, I didn't want your chest to go down when I say to lift your arms up. When we're doing Chaturanga Dandasana, we don't want to push the head down so the head goes towards the floor and thinks that we're really close to the ground. We're going to keep the neck in line with the shoulders, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Amazing. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop, step, jump, walk, or float, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep your arms up to the sky with Uttanasana, sitting back in your chair. And bringing the fingers around the elbows. Try to lift the elbows higher than the ears. And not by pushing your head down. Push into your head turning red. And pushing it forward as much as possible. The back of the neck is relaxed and the shoulders are pulling back. And then lower your chest halfway to the floor and hold. Lift those elbows up. Chest is parallel with the floor. 2 more breaths. Stay with it a little deeper if you can. Lift up a little higher. Exhaling forward fold, hands down straight. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step your walker, float it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades together and pull your heart through. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up in the air, feeling down dog. Bend the knee and open the hip. Step the right foot through between the hands. And then lead with the left arm, rise warrior two. Your left arm opens and the right arm falls. And then back foot, right? Faces the long edge. Everybody looks great. You guys have a solid warrior two. Bring your hands behind your back for me. Now lace your fingers, lift your chest. Now, your hips are facing the long edge of the mat. Your shoulders are facing the long edge of the mat. Your shoulder blades squeeze together and the arms are reaching back behind you. I want you to see if you can forward fold inside your legs, but I don't want you to take your chest to the right leg. I want you to keep trying to go to the middle. Forward fold down inside these warrior two. Right knee is bent a lot, and it pulls towards the right side. And we're trying to draw the chest away from that right leg, more towards the middle. Relaxing tension in the back of the neck. Keep pulling that right knee out for 3. Even more. 2. And 1. Hands back to the low back. Inhale, rise up. Release the hands, warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down to the floor, step it back into slow lower. Chaturanga Dandasana. Feel those shoulder blades come together on your back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Those shoulder blades are like 2 little hands, and they push your heart forward, forward, forward to the front of the room. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up in the air, through the down dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Stack the left hip on top of the right hip. Good. Well, then feel through your butt like you mean it, like really squeeze it. Okay. Set that left foot through between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Lead with the right arm. Finding those strong warrior two legs. Release the fingers behind your back, bend the elbow. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Bend a little more into that left knee. Make sure you got a wide enough stance. And then try to move your torso away from the left leg, forward fold down inside those legs. The left knee has to keep pulling out to the left side as you drop down. And we move the chest away from the left leg and towards the center. It's hard to do. Keep pulling that left knee out to the left. Squeeze those shoulder blades, lift the hands off your back as best you can. Kind of like what we did in Warrior One, but a little different. You really got to work that outside butt cheek to pull that left knee out. Shift that body a little more to the right, a little more to the right, a little more to the right. Away from the left leg. Yes, the other one. Good, hands to your low back. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, come all the way up to standing. Good, cartwheel those hands down on the floor, set it back and just pull a little lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall pose. Exhale back, downward facing the neck. Bring your big toes to touch the back of the mat. Walking your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold with the feet together, big toes touching. Now we may bend the knees to get that to happen. That's fine. We're just doing our best to find that bent knee forward fold, and then keeping the chest to the thighs, and maybe straighten the legs. Can you bring your hands around and grab a hold of like the backs of your shins? And make sure you use your arms to kind of pull you down a little more. Relax any tension in the back of the neck. Releasing the hands back down to the floor, walk it back out. Downward facing dog. offset, jump off the foot. Inhale, half the lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up to the sky with Vinyasa. Exhale all the way to standing. Find the back foot at the top. Stretch back and bring your hands back. Good, feet together, big toes touch, knees touch, ankles touch, bend the knees. Sit down in your seat, Utkatasana. And then bringing your hands to heart center, find a big inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, rotate the thumbs stay glued to your sternum. So you're only rotating to the right as far as you can, keeping those hands at your heart. Maybe that left elbow goes outside the right knee. But make sure you're rotating your chest, not just moving your arms. Now shifting your weight into that right leg, can you bravely step your left foot to the back of the mat? It's a little tippy, I know. Take your right arm up towards the sky, your left arm down towards the floor or onto a block. Now with that left arm on the outside of the right leg, you take your right arm behind your back and reach for your left hip. Now, here's the crazy thing, right? What would it be like to roll that left arm in, take it outside the right knee, and then bend your elbow and get your hands to come together behind your back? It's a nasty line, right? You're just like, oh my God. Keep trying to lift your chest up, turn to the spine. And then from wherever you are, bound or not bound, what would it be like to straighten the front leg? Ugh. Good, bring that right hand back to the center. Rebend into that right knee. Drop the palm down, step back. Plank position. Slow lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, hop set, jump off our foot, top of the mat. Inhale, half the lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet together, your toes touch, ankles touch, knees touch, bend the knees, sweep the arms up to the sky. Utkatasana, sitting back in your chair. Bring those hands to heart center. Big inhale, lift the chest, rotate as far as you can to the left. That right arm outside the left knee. How much can you sit down and find that anterior tilt? Try to arch and roll up back. Thumbs stay at the sternum, keep trying to turn in the chest. Maybe that right arm goes down to the left knee. But now could you bravely shift the weight into your left foot and step the right foot way back. Still finding that rotation in the spine. Now we have an option to open the arms. Maybe that right arm is outside the left leg. Maybe the top arm rolls in, goes behind your back and reaches for the right hip. Maybe that left arm rolls in and the elbow bends and you try to reach for your hand. I promise it's not worth busting up your shoulder for. Like nothing amazing happens when you do it. Keep turning the spine from wherever you go. And then what would it be like to just straighten from whatever variation you're in? Releasing the bilateral down. The left arm comes down. Bend that left knee. Step back. Plank position. So lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or tall cobra. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward. Plank position. Exhale, lower all the way down. Touch down on the mat. Good. Hands alongside the body. So the palms face your hips. Thumbs face down towards the floor. The pinky fingers are up towards the sky. Palms at your sides. They touch your hips or your thighs, the outer thighs. Forehead goes down onto the floor. You can separate the legs a little, or you can zip them up. That's kind of about personal preference. Which one feels better? But with your hands touching your thighs, squeeze your shoulder blades together. But now I want you to get as long as you can from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. So you're making your body as long as possible. And then create an engagement so your belly button like lifts up off the floor. Just the belly button. Keep some of that engagement as you lift just the legs up now off the floor. Legs lift up. Good, and they're lifting up and they're reaching for the back of the room. They're lifting up and they're reaching for the back of the room. And then lifting your upper body up off the floor as well. And that's reaching up and it's reaching for the front of the room. So both the upper body and the lower body are lifting up and they're reaching out the front and the back of the room as long as we can. The longest fine. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together. Use them to help lift you up a little higher. And release back down onto the floor. Good, and releasing the fingers behind the back. You're going to try to bring your palms together and touch your hands. So knuckles up and back, so they're not just reaching back to the back of the room, but also up to the ceiling. Finding some squeeze in the shoulder blades and forehead stays down. This time I want you to try to keep those legs pressing down into the floor as you lift the upper body. See if you can imagine taking those hands and touching the floor between your legs and then lowering them down. We'll lift and lower 10 times. It doesn't matter to me, inhale or exhale, just keep breathing up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Up and hold them up. Everybody's doing a great job squeezing those shoulder blades together. Let's stir the upper body 5 times to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stir the upper body 5 times to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release. So any little movements that you need to move in the hips, to shake them, to adjust them, to make more space. We do that now. And then bringing your fingertips to your ears, or interlacing the fingers behind your head. So the fingertips to the ears prevents you from pushing your head down with your hands. So if you're straightening your neck, touch your ears so that you're not tempted to overuse the neck. Lift the elbows up off the floor. The shoulder blades squeeze together. Keep them squeezing together and bring your elbows down to tap the floor. Your shoulder blades are still squeezing together, and then lift them up. 10, 9, up and down with the elbows. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, palms 2, and 1. Your palms are off the floor and your elbows are off the floor. Yeah, there we go. Good, with those palms lifted, elbows lifted. We're not just trying to do it from the wrist. Take the palm with you. Take the wrist with you. Good. Now keeping that long line in the back. We're going to think about pressing the tops of the feet down into the floor, lifting up and down the upper body. Elbows stay up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up and hold it up. Hold it. 10, 9, 8. If your wrists are broken, try to straighten your wrists. I don't want your wrists to do the break. 4. Come on, lift the elbows. 3, 2, and 1. Go down. So if you can see me up at the front, when I say about the elbows breaking or the wrist breaking, if my elbow is down and then I break at my wrist and lift my elbow up, then the action happened here at my wrist and not back in the shoulder where I want it. So that's why I'm like, keep the wrist straight, and then it's like way more that it has to come from the shoulder than if I did at the wrist. And then I don't have to, I can do this and it's just like bending and straightening my wrist as opposed to like staying in the shoulder space. All right, hands back down onto the floor. Ground the palms out. Let the toes under. Engage the thighs. Elbows go out to the sides. Push down all the way up to a plank. And then lower all the way down to the floor. Touch down, hands off the floor. Hands back on the floor. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Downward facing dog. Shake your head in. Shake it down. Good. Lowering your elbows towards the floor. And then straightening them back out. 10. 9. Elbows going towards the floor. From down dog. So you're not in a plank, you're not in a push up. Yeah, you stay down dog. For 3. Elbows bent towards the floor. 2. Elbows bent towards the floor. 1. Now the elbows lower down and we stay on our forearms in down dog. Good. Elbows hug in tight. Otherwise, we're going to fall through. Look at your hands. Good. Now push off your toes. Let your shoulders go towards your hands. And then use your arms. Push yourself back to down dog. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. Keep breathing. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Push back towards your hips. Elbows are on the floor. So you're in a forearm position. Elbows hugging in tight. Walk those feet in a little bit. We're almost there. So we're trying to learn how to keep those elbows squeezing in as we push our chest through. Breathe. Walk those feet in as close as you can towards your elbows. Keep pushing your chest through. Butt is up towards the sky. And then lower the knees down. Good, and then coming to sit up tall on your heels, just for like a moment. We're gonna play with our wheel variation, back bend variation. If wheels like out of the like comfort zone right now, what's appropriate, no big deal. In that case, we just find bridge pose. So for the bridge today, the feet and the knees are hip distance apart. If I just squeeze my butt, my knees will go wide, and I don't want this. If I squeeze my knees together, I forget to squeeze my butt, and I don't want this. So I want to press down through my heels, squeeze my butt and my inner thighs, so that my knees and my hips stay in the same line. And this may be our first part where we're working those shoulder blades together, the knuckles reaching for the heels, the pinky fingers pressing down. This is one. Part two, we may be bringing the fingers to reach towards the floor. If you bring your fingers too close under your shoulders, you won't be able to press up. You'll get caught. So we need to have a space where we're like, okay, I can bring my fingers towards the floor and still be able to press down in my hands. So I come up onto the hips, press down through my feet, my hips are lifted. In part one, I come up onto the top of my head. And this might be it, pushing down into my hands and then the top of my head and be like, and I'm done. If you can press, we'll push and try to straighten the arms and try to push the chest through the arms and push and push and push and press and push and push. And then when you come down, the chin comes in so you lower onto the back of the head, not onto the top of the head. And then lower yourself back down. That might be part two. If you're playing in a lot of like the arm variations, we did a lot of like rotations in the arm today. You take the hand and reach behind us. And I gotta get my fingers to turn back towards my hips. So sometimes in the beginnings, we do like these wrist openings where we're trying to like figure out how to like put pressure on our hands so they're behind us. If I'm taking my wrist back behind me towards my hips and I'm pressing down through my feet, the first part is I lift up. So now I'm on my hand and my feet. This arm is gonna draw like a big circle, a rainbow, whatever you wanna call it, all the way around and reach for the floor. And I push my chest through again. When I feel like, all right, that's enough, I push back up onto my one hand. And then I bring my butt back down onto the floor. And you can do the other side. But that rotation of being able to create that arch as you like move in that circle. We did lots of back openings today. Use chest chin, puppy pose, back strengthening to try to like build some of the support from underneath. It's coming from the back. Articulation, mucho importante here. Right? So if you get caught, you can be like, oh, almost, and then back down. You have three options. Bridge, working into wheel with both hands, or trying for that wheel with one hand. In and out. So we'll give it a go. We're actually going to give it 3 goes. So, pressing down to the feet, setting yourself up. Bridge, the hips lift. The feet are in hips distance apart, the knees stay hips distance apart, and maybe you interlace your fingers behind your back. If you're pressing up with your hands onto the top of your head, and then try to straighten the arms and push your chest through your arms, that's part two. If you're in that bridge pose, try to straighten your arms down to your knuckles, or down to your heels. So you can keep them interlaced behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, reach them as long as you can. And keep picking the shoulders up. Walk your feet in towards your hips a little bit more. Pick back this way. This one goes towards your head. It's warm. Now hips up. Yeah, very good. Good breathing. Oh, and you've had enough. You go back down. those arms. Strong, strong, strong. And then towards me. Yes. Chin comes in. Nice work. Good. Come all the way down on the floor. Both legs up towards the sky. Keep your legs together. Keep your arms out like letter T. You squeeze your inner thighs and ankles together. And then take both legs towards the right hand as best you can. Keep those legs together, knees together. And then use your abs to pull your legs back up to center. Good. Both legs to the left hand. As best you can. Up and up to the left. Up, 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 up towards the hand. Find your abs. Pull them back up to the center. 1. To the right. We were trying to make this hard. We're not trying to make it easy. Try to turn those muscles on. Get as engaged and connected as possible. And then use that strength to pull you back up. And then over the left side, the same way. So the idea is not like, oh, let me figure out how to get out of this so I don't have to use my muscles very much and I can just like do this for days. The idea is to connect so it's so hard. Bring it back up to the center. 2. We're going over to the right side. How hard can you make this? How connected? How much can you talk to those abs? Find them, use them, pull them back up to the center. One more time, to the left. Connect, 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 connect. And then use it to pull you back to the center. And bring the knees into the chest and soles back down. Good, bridge, wheel variation, number 2. Again, you may stick with what's working for you. If you're like, I've had enough back bending, that's okay too. You can just rest on the floor. Do a wide knees or knees together. If you've got another back bend in you, this is your opportunity to give that a try. Coming back down. Or try number 2. Good work. Both legs up towards the sky. This time, bend the right knee, bring your fingertips to your ear. Fingertips to the ear. Right knee is bent, but the right knee stays in line with the left knee. It doesn't go into your chest. Good. And then the left leg goes as low as you can take it down towards the floor. The right knee is not in your chest. It stays over the hip. It's such a weird thing to conceptualize, right? How do I keep that right knee over my right hip and the left leg just hovering off the ground? But now bringing the left elbow towards the right knee, like lift your chest up and turn over, and then back to center. Okay, so the first part of this, your chest comes up, lift your chest up, your shoulder blades off the floor. Then rotate, don't lay your right shoulder blade down. Keep it off the floor. And then back to center down. Take a moment here, relax. So, if I roll my body onto this shoulder and turn, I'm not getting as much as if I come up off the floor and then rotate, not letting that shoulder come back. So I don't want you to just roll onto your right side and back, roll onto your right side and back. I want the shoulder blades up. You're pulling up and over, not just over. Let's try it again. Both legs up, right knee bends. Stays in line with the left leg. Left leg is that leg just lowering down towards like covering off the floor. Fingertips are at your ears. You're lifting your upper body up off the floor. All the abs. Then rotate. And then back to center. And then over, and then back to center, and then over, and back to center. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more. 5, 4, keep those elbows wide. 3, 2, keep that elbow wide. 1, and release down. So once again, we're working as hard as possible to turn the abs on. Both legs back up. Left knee bends. Not into your chest, but it just bends and stays in line with the left leg, or the right leg. The right leg lowers almost to the floor. The fingertips are at your ears. And now we're bringing the right elbow up first. Everything lifts up. Chest lifts up, then rotate, and then back to center. Up, rotate, center. Up, rotate, center. 4, 5, 6, 7, up, rotate, 8, up, rotate, 9, up, rotate, 10, yes, 5 more, 5, 4, off the left shoulder, 3, I know, right, 2, and 1, release it. One more. Bridge, wheel, variation when you're ready. Strong, strong arms. Bring yourself back. Good. Soles of the feet together. Knees nice and wide. Fingertips at your ears. And then keep those knees wide, but bring your feet off the floor. Keep the knees wide. Lift your feet up off the floor. Low belly engagement. I want you to lift your hips, like roll your hips so your hips are moving towards your ribs, and then roll them back down. So hips lift up, your butt lifts up off the floor, and then roll back down. Just the lower body movement. 10, 9, 8. Try to get your knees to go to your elbows. 7, but no momentum. Pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet go down. Elbows are wide, knees are wide. Chest lifts. Try to get your ribs to touch your hips, lifting your upper body. 10, 9, feet together, knees wide. Slow it down. Slow. These are mindful. I want you to try to like pull, lots of engagement and release. Pull, hips stay down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, arms stay wide. Those elbows stay wide, knees stay wide. We're gonna try to like close this like a clam. So your elbows and knees come together. Both of them are coming together now. Feet off the floor. 10. Slow them down. 9. Stay in the contraction. 8. Don't let it splay out at the bottom. Stay engaged. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Go both knees into the chest, give yourself a nice step. Let both knees fall to the right side, left arm out to the left. Good. Come on back through center. Unwinding and rewinding if the legs are around. Both legs to the left. The right arm out to the left. Good. Come on back to center, the knees into the chest. The hands inside the knees, grabbing on hold of the soles of the feet. Maybe the baby to the side of the foot. Pull those knees wide and down towards the floor. As you pull those knees wide and down, you can shift in the hips. Last side to side. You can play with straightening one leg, bringing it to the floor behind your head, and then the other. One more time, knees and then the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And then exhale, releasing out nice and long arms and legs. Stretch yourself out, fingers to toes. We'll settle in now for the final shavasana. So, add layers. Take the layers away. Get comfy. Get comfy. Whatever that's going to mean for you today. If you want to pick your hips up, like settle in back down. If you lift your shoulders up a little further underneath you. Offering yourself this opportunity to let go. To know that you don't have to do anything, or think about anything, or plan anything. And the world will go on just fine. That you will get to do all those things after this. But for right now, you can allow the body to get heavy. You can allow it to be supported by your mat on the floor. Beginning to breathe life back into your fingers and your toes. Making little movements in the wrists and the ankles. Making your way over onto your side body. So rolling onto the right side, that's like it compresses like the more masculine fire side of the body. It leaves the lunar side like open. So that's like a ease and like peacefulness. You roll onto your left side and you open up and encourage like that masculine, the fire side, the I got a lot to get done today side. Using the strength of your arms, press yourself all the way back up to that comfortable seated position. With your eyes closed, bring your hands to heart center. We'll close our practice together with the sound of Om in unison. Exhaling. Inhaling. Humbly with joy and gratitude, I thank you all so very much for coming today and sharing the practice with me. Namaste. Namaste. Oh, guys, I forgot to mention, we do have a new schedule coming out for the spring, summer. There are some changes to the schedule. We have like a couple 6 a.m. options. There's some 4 o'clock options. And then this class will be at 9:15. So just like bumping it back a little further. We got a lot of requests from the moms that drop off that they cannot make 9 o'clock. So Saturday stays. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday are staying the same.
Monday was 9:15 too.
Yes, Monday also was.
For Wednesday's the same.
Wednesday's the same. Yeah, sorry.
Is it an hour class or still some? What day do you say?
It's gonna be an hour class. Thank you. Monday will be 75 minutes though, because there's no class right after that one.
Great class.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna do it next week. This class will start at 9:15.
Yeah, I just thought,
Okay. I thought about that in time, like, oh, that's next week class.
like, oh my God, right? It comes so fast.
It's so fast. And there was an email that just went out this morning with all of the